the government of Burkina Faso is currently under attack by all kinds of forces, including the government of Ghana, not because it is putting the lives of its people in danger, but simply because it is standing up against new colonial domination. And that must be as clear as possible. I mean, this report issued by Human Rights Watch does not make any sense at all. Now, before the current government assumed office, these Islamic insurgents, or so-called Islamic insurgents, had captured close to 60% of the land territory of Burkina Faso. They were killing civilians. They were attacking villages, burning villages, killing government troops and so on. So what the Burkinabe government is doing now is to launch a counter-offensive in order to reclaim Burkinabe land, in order to establish the people's sovereignty over their own territory. And indeed, since this government came into power, more than 60% of the land territory of Burkina Faso has fallen into government hands. That is something which is commendable and not something to be condemned. Now, it is significant that a country like Ukraine publicly and brazenly has claimed to be supporting Islamic insurgents in the Sahel because it claims that Russia is supporting the legitimate governments in these places to fight against the insurgents. We should be focusing our attention on condemning Ukraine for its blatant interference. We should be focusing attention on condemning Ukraine for turning the Sahel and parts of West Africa into a killing zone in furtherance of its own ambitions and interests. You understand? Why does Ukraine think that there's any right to kill soldiers in West Africa or in the Sahel? Ukraine, of all countries. Yes, that's what we should be focusing attention on. I am in full support, 100% support of the government in Burkina Faso, because it is doing what all African countries should have done and should be doing. You understand? And these reports would not sway us. It would not sway the Pan-Africanists on the continent. It would not sway the anti-imperialist forces on the continent, from supporting the pursuit of the legitimate aspirations of the people of Burkina Faso. Yeah, human rights sometimes does some very good work and so on. But on this question, I think they've lost it completely. I mean, Human Rights Watch should be condemning the government of Ghana for seeking the assistance of the United States of America to intervene in Burkina Faso. That is what we should be condemning. Human Rights Watch, if it's serious, should be condemning the U.S. for supplying all the weapons that is being used in the genocidal attacks in Syria, in Iraq, in Lebanon, in Gaza, and so on. That's what we should be concerned about. Human rights should be concerned about, the situation in which French troops are massing up in La Côte d'Ivoire, and the United States and other Western countries, NATO countries, are seeking to establish drone bases in La Côte d'Ivoire, in Benin and Ghana, for a senseless war against the popular forces in the region. That is what we should be attacking.